We are on track to making six figures in a year, $105,000, and this is what it takes to do it.
We're always usually a little bit late.
It's gonna sound pretty harsh, but sounds like it's more of the items that you have and not an even problem.
One thing that makes this business so difficult for me is that I need to be...
Good morning, everybody. RJ136 coming at you guys with another video today. I want to give you a raw, real, true day in the life of what it is to do what I do. Full-time reselling, sourcing, everything. My brain's not working properly. It's 6:16 in the morning. I'm just going to show you guys what I do, and we're going to start right now.
Okay. Jeez. Hi, puppy.
One thing I do every single morning is I wake up and obviously take Stella outside, but I bring my Bible with me to the dog park, and it's kind of a good way to get into the Word every single day. I avoid my phone as long as humanly possible. When I was waking up with my phone, it was just too much of a dopamine roller coaster, if you will. When I wake up and I see a notification that I have 4 offers, it was a way to start the morning really, really good. Then when I would wake up and have 2 refunds and a cancellation or whatever, I would start my day with something that would be stressful right away. And so I wanted to avoid that just as much as I could. I just wanted to avoid just any dopamine spike in the morning. So I just avoid my phone as much as possible, and I get into the Word, and then I just kind of play the game of how long I can avoid my phone until I actually have to dive into it, which is when we start shipping, which I should start getting into this and doing things because I'm already falling behind with this video. I just want to show you guys what happens in a full day and what does sourcing look like, what goes on through my brain, what does shipping look like, and everything else in between. So let me get into this, and then I'll pick you guys up in a second here. All right, so we are already running a little bit behind schedule, but 6:30, we gotta go ship our items and try to get all of this done before we have to leave, so in that way I don't have to come back here. That's kind of the goal. Sometimes that doesn't happen, but we're gonna try to hit that at our I can't talk, it's so early. We're gonna try to hit that as our goal today. So let's go. All right, so we did some what's called consolidating. Some people ask, but if you guys saw in previous videos, I had boxes that were coming out to here, but a lot of the boxes were getting empty because we were making sales. So what we do is basically combine this box into this box, and then this box into so on and so on, and that kind of gets everything full, gives us way more extra boxes, and then also fills all of this up. Also, some people have been asking what boxes we use for storage. These are the 24 by 10 by 8 U-line boxes, and I think they're $60 something for a pack of them. We use these clear bags with the Amazon SKU stickers. Right now, I think our highest number, we have some upstairs as well, but our highest number today is $16.29. I pulled out some orders already yesterday just to get ahead of it because we actually were moving kind of quick on sales. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4 in eBay and 2 in Poshmark. And I think we might get another offer. Still have yet to use my phone, and kind of what I do is I just open up my phone for eBay and Poshmark now. I've kind of, done some extra stuff today that made it to where I don't need to use my phone, and I still want to try to avoid that, but it's a lot easier when I have my phone and I'm looking for SKUs instead of having to walk back and forth to my laptop. So yeah, I have one offer. We have 8 orders. Something might have already gone out. So let's take a look here. Oh, wow. Yep, we have a lot more than 4 now. Okay, let's go pull these. So here's how I do it. You can see we have this Dixon shirt here. What I'll do is I'll just click on this, scroll to the last photo. I see $14.29. I'll go over and I'll look for $14.29, and it's gonna be in this one because this is the closest number to $14.29, and that number is too big to $14.29. I'll pull her out. And there's $14.29 and plop her in. So pretty straightforward. Let's just grab the other orders. I have this hat bin here. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse to have because I bought bulk hats and I skewed a lot of them, but I've also bought plenty of other hats that I did not skew because I didn't buy them in bulk, and it goes in here. So there's a lot of hats in here. Sometimes it can get overwhelming, but if I just kind of move these around fast enough, usually I can find my hat. There it is. The Portland Pickles. Kind of sick hat. That means that we did 1, 2, 3 in Poshmark, and we did 8. Ooh, actually we have an offer. Let's see if I'm gonna take this offer. No, I'm not. Nike pair of shorts. I have them for $22 and someone wants 12. Definitely not gonna take that offer, but we'll counter offer and let's get to shipping. I'm sorry for my energy this morning, you guys. I'm still waking up. I have been planning this video all week of just being like, okay, I want to literally wake up, turn on the camera, and show a full day in life. And kind of, you'll see the difference in energy, you'll hear my different thoughts throughout the day, and everything like that. I'm already falling behind on shipping just for the sake of doing this, but it's worth it, trust me. Okay, so this is what went out so far. So we've got a Brunello Cucinelli button up. This one was pretty tattered and beaten up. It was really, really bad condition, but we still got $45 for this plus $6.95 in shipping. So pretty good. I got this one at a thrift store, so I'd probably pay about $6.99 for it. What I do here is I have a little scale that reads out my thing. So you can see this is 7 pounds, 1 ounces. And I'd be curious. I mean, I'm always open for change, but I don't put it in the bag right away. I just throw it on the scale. It reads 7 ounces, and I'll always just go up by like 1-ish ounce. 7.1, we'll round up to 8. It's not gonna make that much of a difference. And then what I do is when I buy my label, while it loads for like, I don't know, 8 seconds, let's call it. I'll put it into the bag, and then that kind of helps save time. USPS is the cheapest for $6.07, so that means I'm gonna make about 90 cents-ish on my shipping. I like money. I fold this into like what I call the taco method, because it's folded like a taco or hot dog, whatever you want to call it. Slide her in, and then I print out my label. First one down the hatch, ready to go. While we pull this other one up, someone asked, like, why don't I print out all of my labels at once? First off, I feel like that's just extra time because now I'm gonna have to print out the labels and then relook at the labels to see where everything went, or just like have to do some weird SKU stuff. This is, by the way, Fox Racing shorts. So I feel like it just takes longer that way. Yeah, it looks cool for YouTube if I were to like print out all of my labels at once. But at the same time, I feel like if doing individually makes it to where it's much more consistent. So I'm just like knowing this label goes under this label is this one. And I'm not mixing labels up. I feel like if I mix labels up, it's just increasing my chances of just putting the wrong label on the wrong thing. Or it's just adding extra work where I have to write down which one is what or whatever. The extra few steps is worth it just for the peace of mind. I've definitely shipped the wrong thing before. And it's like if you ship the wrong thing, that means you ship 2 wrong things because one person got one item, the other person got the other item. So you're gonna have to send 2 refunds and then have the chance for 2 bad reviews and 2, item not described list or something like that. So that's just not something I want to do. These are Levi cargo shorts. I sold these guys for $10. Not a really good one, but it was $10 with $6.99, $6.95 in shipping. This was something that I looked at the wrong comp when I got those, and they were just not the comps that I thought I saw. I think, do I want to list this for what it's worth, or do I want to list it for a price to make me feel better? Yeah, I make mistakes when I'm looking up comps or something, or if I'm rushed, or there's times that even I'm like, oh man, I thought I threw this back, but I guess I didn't. That stuff happens. And so I want to, just be real with myself and just be like, okay, if this is bad, I'm going to admit that it was a bad buy and move on. This was a Dixon cow print shirt. I sold this one for $20. It was listed for $28. I just took an offer to move it, taking $8 off this one to sell this. But like, am I going to be that upset, or do I just want this thing out of the store? Could I have sat there and held on to this and for another, let's call it month maybe, or even a few weeks, just for an extra $8? That might be worth it for some of you guys, but for me, I just want things moving. I'm looking at something and I'm making 15 on it, or if something's been sitting for a long time and I'm making 10 on it, I'm gonna be happy on this one. By the way, this is a Pinot Noir shirt going out for $18 with $6.95 in shipping. The reality of this is that most of my money is coming from these $17 to $25 sales, and because I'm sourcing most of these at the bins, I'm still making a lot of money. This guy has been sitting for a long period of time. This SKU is 262. This is going out for $26 plus $9.95 in shipping. We're definitely gonna be putting this one in a bigger bag here. That was Levi 501 jeans, and it was $26. These ones are also Levi's. These are also Levi 501s too, and this was $20.62 plus $9.95, so you can call that order total $32.48. Okay, cool, so we got 2 combined orders here. They are 2 Poshmark orders, and they're both Carhartt. All right, here is our last order going out. That was easy. That combined shipping was very, very easy here. We're gonna mark as shipped. This, by the way, was a $12 hat. Happy to get them out and moving, but let's go get these guys in the car and let's go grab breakfast. When I said I'm on time, that means that we're not as late as we normally are. That's a hard thing with these schedules, is that we're always usually a little bit late, right? Mm-hmm. Good morning. Everything's fine, right? Everything's fine.
Everything's great.
Everything's great. We definitely did not stay up later than we should have. Definitely, Nadia's surviving off of that, and I bet you guys can guess in the comments where I'm going.
Shout out Celsius.
Shout out Celsius. This is not a paid sponsor, but it could be.
Sorry, I had to do an advertisement for a second.
See, Celsius? You see how much we dedicate to you? Last vlog, Nadia was only in for just a brief time. And this one, it might be the same. I don't know, we'll see. Depending on how crazy today is, we might be able to get a chance to get more Nadia in the vlogs. All right, so we are officially at Starbucks. Shout out these World Cup sleeves. And this is kind of where I'm brainstorming right now. Like right now, I'm just kind of journaling and story writing today's video that you're watching right now to figure out the right title and to figure out how we can like best have a good video for you guys. These are all the things that I've already listed on eBay using Spadeberry, and then I go into Nifty, and then I'll cross list here. Alrighty, it's time to bounce and to go drop off our packages to get shipped, and then we're gonna go hit the bins. The nice thing with the bins today is that we had back-to-back best day evers at the bins, literally back-to-back best day ever at the bins. I like kind of having that extra inventory to
be able to have that peace of mind that everything will be okay. So realistically, I wouldn't need to get anything from the bins today, but I'm still gonna go just to get inventory to have. I feel like the more ahead of the game I am, the better. You know, some people might have a different outlook where they say, hey, just list everything that you have. But then I feel like that gives me, you know, like days where I list 30 items in one day or 40 items in one day, and then a day where I list 5 items in one day or 10 items in one day. I just feel like that inconsistency is not the right way to grow. Maybe? I don't know. Like, rewatch some of these videos and I'm like out of breath. And I'm like, dude, slow down. But let's go hit this shipping place. Well, it is now 9:09 on the dot. It's probably gonna be 9:10. No, it's not gonna be 9:10. I am now heading down to the bins and we're gonna go source. Now here's kind of my goal for sourcing today. I really have an expectation that I'm setting myself up for, and we'll just see how all of this goes. Goal number 1 is just get a decent amount of items. I have had back-to-back literal best days at the bins. I technically don't really need to source today. I could source tomorrow if I wanted to, but I'd be a little bit more desperate, if you will, in sourcing tomorrow, just for the simple fact of that I would need to get like a certain amount of items. Like, I couldn't leave the bins until I get a certain amount of items. Today, I could leave the bins if I have 1 item in my store. That's an NSX. One thing that makes this business so difficult for me is that I need to be cautious on my time. I need to be cautious on when Nadia is getting off of work and when I gotta drop her off and all of that, where the days where Nadia is doing this full time with us, it will be way less paying attention to the clock every second of every day. So on Monday when Nadia had the day off, you know, we didn't look at the time at all, and we're just like, we just worked when we worked, and when we're like, all right, I think we're done today, we left. Actually, we were there till close on Monday because I didn't have to pay attention. You know, it's like when you get hungry, you eat, and when you're done, you're done. Where on Tuesday through Friday, I'm constantly looking at the clock because I have to. I have no other option than to do that. Let's go get to the bins and let's go see what we find. I'm kind of curious. Back-to-back best day evers at the bins. Does that mean we're gonna have a slower day today? Does that mean it's gonna be an average day? I'm kind of aiming for like an average day. That's kind of my feel today, is that it'll be an average day. What's funny is that an average day is gonna seem like a super slow day just by the simple fact of how crazy the last 2 times were. But I'll be happy with an average day, and an average day is probably like 10 to 15 items. So let's see what we do. We're about 2 rotations in, and I'll explain briefly what rotations are. These bins get rotated, and so depending on how many people are here, they'll rotate either 1 row or 1.5 or 2. One time have I seen 1, 2, 3 rows get rotated. And right now I've got 2 stuff. I got a Patagonia like hiking pants thing, and then some super wide leg ultra flare We The Free jeans. And then we've got like a pile here. And essentially what I do is when rotation happens, I'll go through and look a pile up. So for example, like these Lucky brand pair of jeans, these are the Zoe Avalon jean, and then I'll look at the sell-through rate. If sell-through rate's good, I throw it in my cart. If it's bad, I toss it in one of those bins. And that's just kind of what I do. We've been here, oh man, I don't even know how long. I don't know what time we got here, but been here a decent time so far, maybe 30
20-ish minutes, maybe a little over that. 2 items so far, not too bad in 2 rotations. It's always a good rotation when I can walk away with 1 or 2 items in this rotation. So right now we've got these Lucky brands and some other things that we'll go through and see if we get any more stuff. Ah, look at all the same thing. Could you imagine if these were like vintage tees? It's just nice to have those 4 hands in the bins between me and Nadia. We just get extra things and we can keep an eye out on those things. It's kind of a little cheat code that just works out so well. This is where it gets kind of at the middle part of the day where things start to slow down. You know, I try my best not to have my day just really determined on how my sourcing turns out, because it can be really high or really low. You know, I think I can enjoy it. Jesus, it's taking me forever to find the logo on this. I think I can enjoy just the process of scrummaging through clothes. I think I got a couple of okay things, nothing too crazy so far, but you know, 3 rotations in and I still have a couple of things to take a look at. But it's just nice sometimes to just have Nadia with me and we can just chat or talk or whatever and just talk about items or look things up, or you know, I love when I look over and find her and she's got an armful of things. So that's always really cool. Ooh, I might take a look at this. It's a kid's puffer, let's see, but it just, you know, makes it just so much more enjoyable to do this, you know, with your best friend, aka your future wife. So that helps a lot. So far not as crazy as the other days were, but still walking away with some stuff, so that's going to be helpful. And like I said, it's nice that I have things already at home to kind of sift through and go through and list when I get back. So we'll just see how things pick up. You know, it'll start to pick up once some of the high school kids start to show up and maybe they start doing 1.5 rotations and those sort of things. But now we're going through. I'm just going to kind of look over and see some of the bins that I haven't got the chance to just look through. And a lot of the times the putbacks, you can find a lot of great stuff. I found a lot of really good stuff in the putbacks last couple of weeks. You know, because everyone just has different goals. You know, everyone's bread and butter is a little bit different. Some people aren't looking for the American Eagle jeans that I'll sell for $25 or something. Oh wow, they found a Carhartt jacket. But, you know, they're not looking for some of those things, or the BKEs or things like that. I think I got an Ariat FR in my pile that someone just, either they didn't see or that's just not what they're looking for. So, you know, those things are always helpful, and I look for those because, like I said, everyone has those different goals, and we have things that we're all looking for, and everyone's gonna find something that makes money. What are these, 501s? No? Oh, 505s. So that's kind of what I look for, is just, I'll find a bread and butter. Every now and again I'll find something really good, but usually the bread and butters are the putbacks. So that's what we aim for, and that's what we do in this part of the bins. But we'll see how more rotations go. I gotta go look through some of the stuff that we've got right now. So here's a good example of putbacks. So this is a Mountain Hardwear men's medium, kind of lightweight jacket. Super good comps, and someone put it back. So you can always look through the putbacks just for good stuff. And here's the Ariat that I was telling you about, Ariat FR. A few stains. I've sold Ariat FR like tops or jackets or something with stains on it. Just drop the price down and they sell. So pretty happy with that one. These are the We're the Free. And then here's 2 other things that we just got from this recent rotation. We're looking at, these are American Eagle super high-rise flare. So okay sell-through rate, about 30% on this one. I don't know, I'm really bad at looking at We the Free, but it's like bell-bottom, cool design pants. I feel like that would do pretty good on Poshmark. And then these are Prana Bryon pants is what they're called. They're the slim fit. I should actually look these up, but they should be good, but I'm gonna look them up. Okay, this rotation was just crazy. So I gotta show you what we got. This was by far the best one of the day. Pretty good. Okay, now I'm just getting mocked. So I was gonna show you what's in this rotation, and I will really quickly. I got a couple other things to look at, but I always grab when I see this brand. It's Rock Revival. But it's just mocking me now. I'm being mocked. Look, speaking of this time just getting slow, I'm just being mocked. I didn't know that there was a Nadia Rock Revival. That's not fair.
All right, so here's all the putbacks, but here's everything that we got. So, like I said, Rock Revival, Nadia, Capri jeans, interesting. These ones were Outfitter Ridge camo sweats, just a really good camo thing. I think it was like a solid 25 bucks. I'll put comps on the screen just so we can get that all set. This is cool. This is gonna be hard to find a comp, but this is a large men's North Face, just like jacket thing. Pretty nice, solid comp. And then this always gets me excited when I see these. Ariat M5 straight leg. So that was a solid rotation. All right, I lost count on how many rotations we've had, but let's show you what we got. We got some vintage Levi 505 shorts. Pretty cool. Now, these are just made in Guatemala, so not crazy, but still pretty cool. This is a pretty good bolo. It's called Bulwark. Bulwark. FR. Gotta check quality, but it was really good. And then we got some BKE Stellas. I gotta check. These are kind of tattered, but we'll see. Stellas do pretty good for me, so, and they're flare, so we might have to get them. So we are closing in on 12:30. It's 12:20 right now. And right now what I'm doing is just sitting. Here's what's really interesting. Someone was asking how rotation works, and everyone just stays. I mean, there's some people that stay here probably close to all day, if not the entire day from open to close. Essentially what I'm doing right now is that I could be out there pulling more clothes, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But right now what I'm doing is I'm actually just sitting on my phone and studying brands that I want to look out for. It's something I don't typically do here as much as I'd like to, and that's just going through eBay, looking at sell-through rates, looking what's sold, looking at things that sold for over 30 bucks or something like that. And that really helps me just like have a refreshed brain when I'm looking through. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. I might have a couple more rotations left in me before I have to go grab lunch. I don't know how many items we have, but we have some good ones. We have some decent ones today. It's nice to have items that I'm confident with, like those Ariats. I think I have the Ariat FRs, stuff like that. So it's pretty good to have. It's not like the craziest day I've had. The last time I literally had a full cart to the brim. This one's, you know, okay. It's not bad, and I'm happy with it. Another good rotation. Let's show you what we got. Noir BMW Polo. These are Carhartt pants. There's a logo. We're looking at C5 for 108. Wrangler Willow. I had no idea that these were as good of a sell-through rate as they were. These ones I'm gonna test. They're called American Tall. Had a really weird sell-through rate. Just not a lot listed, and there were like most of them brand new. Couldn't find a whole lot of used ones, but we'll see how that goes. Rag & Bone, always a good one. Bam. This one I grabbed, I knew what it was just by the feel of it. I'm that good with this brand. I love this brand. Vintage Polo, Ralph Lauren. Where are you? Bang, there you go. Medium. Always hard not to keep those ones for myself. Selvage. Just a good, solid brand. Made by Buckle, I'm pretty sure, BKE. So good one. That was the first grab in there. And then this popped up. I find so much vintage Y2K Nike here. It is a reversible. Here is the Y2K Nike tag. Bam. Pretty solid. So with that rotation, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just from that rotation alone. Pretty solid. Decent sized cart today. I don't know, I think that this exceeded my expectations from like what I was aiming for, but I am starving. Oh, it's 136. Shout out RJ136. Let's go get some food. ready to eat lunch. I was just reflecting on the drive back home and thinking, it's so funny when I was in my 9 to 5, how much I would like just focus on when lunch would happen, and I could take as long as I could for lunch to try to give myself a break in the day. We have been on this video for almost 8 hours already. Well, you guys have not spent 8 hours, but it's been 8 hours of my day. And I'm just enjoying this. It's just a good day. It's not like a crazy day for sourcing, and it's not the craziest day for sales, but it's just like an average day. What do I sniff like? Stella was letting me know that you guys definitely need to subscribe and hit the like button right now. This is the best time to do it because you're enjoying the journey, right? That's so right. She's just is always good at reminding me those things. It's just so interesting because I just enjoy these days. I enjoy this time. I enjoy days like today. It's beautiful out, and I am already working more than what I would work. Guys, we are on track to making 6 figures in a year, $105,000 in a year, 12-month time span. And this is what it takes to do it. It takes this long days. It takes the fact that I haven't even listed yet. It takes the fact that, I have to go take lunch at 2 o'clock, 2:23 to be exact. But I love it. And I think that's been the biggest mistake that I think a lot of people make, and I've made in business, or if anybody's even wanting to get into this industry. It takes dedication. It takes enjoyment. Trust me, I have done 12-hour days for multiple days in a row and plenty of other businesses. You have to enjoy this. And I remember there's so many times in these long sales calls or these long days or just back and forth, you have to have a sense of enjoyment in what you're doing to be able to go through these long times. I tried to convince myself so hard that I was dedicating my life to real estate, and I loved real estate, and I would try to watch real estate content, and I just couldn't get on board with it. I could not enjoy it and have that much fun. The amount of fun that I have in this industry is like, it doesn't even feel like trying. I just naturally go to the content in whether it's fashion or reselling or anything. I just naturally enjoy this. I naturally enjoy and don't even realize that I'm having long days. One thing I do realize though is how hungry I am, and that Chick-fil-A behind me with their sweet tea is screaming my name. I might have to just eat this, and then I might be able to get a couple of postings in before I have to go pick up Nadia. We have some stuff we gotta still do, and we're just getting started. Like Stella said, if this is things that you enjoy, hit the subscribe button. Join us in the journey. We are just getting started. This is not me telling you I've been doing this for 40 years. I've been reselling for some time, but full time, guys, this is only 4 months in, so there's a lot to still learn, and there's a lot to still cover, and there is plenty of Chick-fil-A that I'm gonna house. I'll be right back.
You know how Lil Wayne has that like intro where he's smoking right before a song? I feel like if I were to have an intro, if I was a rapper, it would be this song. I just splashed on my listing table. Dang it.
I can't believe you've done this.
Today we're going with the Sparkling Berry Celsius. This one's probably one of my favorite flavors. There was a flavor pack that you can get at Costco that had the Sparkling Berry. It was like a blue flavor and then like a tropical flavor. I'm so bad at the flavors, but like those are my 3 favorite flavors. I don't know why, I just really like them. I brought a friend. It's Nadia. Oh, can I help you?
Stella!
All right, we are back with Nadia, obviously. We have this inside joke, if you will, with my family where I'm always like, yeah, Nadia and I were in this deep conversation. And everyone's like, you and Nadia are always in deep conversations. And yes, that statement may be true, but we just get on some good topics. Like, I don't know. Well, I'm just comfortable enough with Nadia to just share my thoughts with her, and she wants to listen, and she'll share her thoughts with me, and it's a good way to get my thoughts out for both of us. These are the Guess the Cliff bootleg boot cut
Those are
jeans.
nice.
We got onto this subject and it kind of was inspired by Carrie, shout out Carrie. Like what happens when you have slow sales, right? And I think everybody that does eBay or just reseller in general, everybody always talks about like they have a slow sales day, and you hear it all the time. Like, was anyone else's sales slow today, or anyone else had a slow sales week? It's a struggle, man. I think doing this full time, when you have a slow sales day, you can't help but like get a little concerned. I can't live in business like this. I can't have this my whole life where I'm sitting there on slow sales day and it's a bad day, and good sales days is a good day, or vice versa on sourcing too. The whole thing that was brought up was like when it's cold outside and someone's complaining about how cold it is, it's cold for everybody.
We're all cold.
We're all cold here. Like, let's say that Nadia and I stayed up till midnight and woke up at 4 a.m. and I was just complaining the whole time, like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm so tired. Nadia would be like, dude, I'm tired too. We got the same amount of sleep. If I sit here and talk about slow sales days or talk about like a bad sourcing day or whatever, you know, it's like, that's just unfair to myself. And like, that's just gonna be a part of this business where I'm gonna have days that are slower and days that are better, weeks that are better, weeks, so on and so on. It's just, that's part of this business. I guess going from part-time to full-time, that was probably more of a scare, I guess you could say. Why I got on this subject is because after Nadia gets off work, both of us, we just ask each other how each other's days went. She asked me today, she was like, how was your day? And I was like, today was a good day. I didn't walk away with a bunch of stuff like we did the last 2 days. You know, I didn't make 30 sales today, but it was a good day, period, because I really enjoyed today. I enjoy doing this, obviously, making the vlog. I enjoy researching things. I enjoy the Starbucks time. And so that's just one thing I wanted to like say, like if you're doing this full-time or part-time and it's a slow sales, I'm not coming from the person of expertise, but I'm coming from a place of saying like, I am actively working on never being like, it was a slow sales day, and just want to come from a place of just like, I am actively growing. My store goes like this. It goes up, dips down a little bit, and then goes up, and then dips down a little bit, and goes up, and dips down a little bit, and that's just how it works. If you asked me how I think May went, I would have told you it went worse than April. Because for some reason I was just in my head about how sales were. Then I look at May, and I'm on track to doing 6 figures in a year, based off of the sales. In gross sales, guys, gross sales. Holy cow, that's the first time I've ever done that. And in this business, and I would have thought that I was in a bad spot. And now here I am in June, listing 13 items a day. I take pictures of 19. I list 13. By the way, that was 7 for All Mankind jeans. I'm realizing I'm really bad at showing you what I'm taking pictures of. This is Levi's 517, 32, 34. Here I am now, just like, I'm doing and taking the steps necessary to growing this business correctly. I'm checking my sell-through rates. I'm making sure there's enough margin to make money on these. I'm listing more than I was listing last month. There might be a slight hesitant because I was selling more than I thought I was over May, that I need to do some catching up. Eventually sales are gonna start to increase. We are in summer. Naturally, people are buying less things in summer. That's just part of this business. And I'm grateful to be in this business. I love this business. I'm having so much fun with it. Maybe you guys can do this along with me. If you're in this business, just go, all right, just acknowledge if it's a slow sales day, it's all good. We don't even need to talk about it. I think the only time that you need to focus on sales being bad or talk about sales being bad is if sales are terribly bad. So for example, I've incorporated Depop, and I don't have a million things in there. I have not listed my whole store. That's something I need to acknowledge. The Depop is not getting the sales that I expected. So I need to study why? What am I doing wrong? Or am I buying the right items for Depop? Or whatever the case is, it's not a Depop problem, it's an RJ problem. Depop is doing fine. Depop is doing fine with or without RJ. There are eBay stores that have just terrible sell-through rate items inside of their store. I mean, it's gonna sound pretty harsh, but like, that's not an eBay problem. And I think people want it to be. Trust me, I understand. But it's a problem of like, well, do you have the things that would go well on eBay or no? Because if the answer is no, well, then maybe there's something up here, right? If you have one-off items that's not desirable, that nobody wants or whatever. And so that's when you need to look and have like that conversation with yourself and go, all right, like what do I need to do to fix this issue? And that's when you can talk about a slow sales time. Then I'm less focused on if it's a good or a bad day, and I'm just focused on taking the necessary steps to be able to have success in this business. By the way, those were Viore shorts. Sorry, I'm so bad at showing what I'm listing. I'm gonna fly through the rest of these. We've got a lot more stuff to list. See, I broke a big rule of mine. Every time I'm at the bins and I buy a button up, before I buy it, I normally button it up. But the other day was such a crazy good day that we just started throwing stuff in that was so good. Listen to some YouTube and just turn my brain off and take pictures. And hopefully my brain is on enough to take the right pictures, and then I list. So that's what I'm gonna go do. Thanks for hanging out with me guys on this rant. Let's pick you guys up in just a second here. So everything is all done and priced out, ready to go. So here's kind of what I do now. We've got 19 items. So like I said, I list 13 a day. So what I do is I schedule 3 on Saturday and Sunday, and then the 13 go up in a day. Publish this up. Let's see if it publishes everything. I'm just iffy about this jersey. It says that eBay says this category does not need item specifics. I have no idea what that even means, but we'll see if it gets posted still. And then we're almost done for the day. Almost, right? Right, that's how it goes. These are all getting cute. There we go. Oh yeah, see that got published. They all got published at the same time. And now everything has been published for the day. So 13 items went up, 3 got scheduled. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So technically 15 goes up on Saturday and Sunday, which I'd rather go over than under. But 13 goes up Monday through Friday. And that kind of keeps me at a 30% growth rate for the eBay store for right now. And just like that, the day is basically over. The only thing that I have left to do is to throw my items down back into the garage. And then I have a call today. It's a group call with the Carry at Home group. That group, I don't know where I would be without that group. It is insane. Being in other businesses, I've spent thousands, literal thousands of dollars in plenty of other groups and have got not even close to the same amount of help and support and knowledge that I have in this group. I started the day on going out with Stella and my walk with Stella. I'm ending out of 2 of 3 walks that we have every day. For those that own dogs and live in an apartment, understand how it can be. But it's kind of nice. It's a good excuse to just get out and get some sunlight and get some steps in. Fun fact, here is what the steps I did today, by the way. I'll put that up on the screen, but I average like 10,000 steps a day. And there's certain days that I'm getting up into the 13,000 number, which is insane. My previous work, when I was just doing social media and like sales and stuff like that, I was not getting anywhere near close to that because I was just stuck at home all day. What's really fun about this business is that every day is different in the amount of hours and the amount of things or what's getting done in this day, especially with incorporating YouTube. And I don't think it's perfect. I don't think it'll ever be perfect. I do stuff like this to, 1, do YouTube because I love doing YouTube. But 2 is like, I love looking back, even old videos like when I was doing cars, but I just love looking back and watching like where I was. This type of video is one of those ones that I'll look back and either be like, wow, I was hustling, or why did I grab that item, or oh my gosh, that item never sold and it's still in my store and it's been a year. Like those things are just so fun. Nadia and I are getting married in less than 4 months, and this business and Nadia's work is funding that. And it was scary at first to have to look and go, wow, like let's go to making, consistent income with my partners in my previous business to making essentially nothing and trying to make money to not only afford rent, but afford a wedding coming up. And it's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and just be like, oh, we just woke up and everything for the wedding's paid for. There's a lot of things that go into that. I can pull out my Poshmark and I can pull out eBay
And that's a pretty healthy paycheck that sits there. But if I don't use that paycheck into growing the store even more, you know, I'm gonna put myself out of business very, very fast. As the business is smaller, you know, I want to be creating the right habits right now. So as it gets bigger, I'm helping myself. I'm helping Nadia. I'm helping grow our life and our finances and this business and just the direction of where it's all going. That's why some of these days are gonna be longer, because I'm setting some things up properly and spending properly, saving properly, and doing the proper thing. I don't think this is for everybody, because there's a lot of stuff that we do that's not fun. There's a lot of sacrifices that we make right now that are not fun. But I know that we're setting it up properly for when the future is, well, I mean, the future is technically in 3 seconds. Well, we're in the future. When we get to a point where we are married, Nadia's full-time, look back and I go, I'm doing the steps now to get us in such a healthy spot in our mid-30s. I'm turning 30, geez, this month. Holy cow. Real time, you guys are seeing, I forgot that my birthday is that soon. And by the time I'm 35, I don't want to just be like, wow, I wish I saved at 30. I wish that I, you know, didn't spend everything that I was making. It's crazy to me that I'm turning 30 soon. But also, I just Googled the other day, like when Jeff Bezos started Amazon, he was 30 as well. Probably 6 months ago, I was really, really anxious about being 30, thinking that I was supposed to be at a certain spot in life at 30. And now here I am getting into this business, really ramping things up at 30. You know, it's exciting. I still am young, but I didn't feel like I was. I want to take the necessary steps at 30 to when I look back at 40 and 50 and 60 and really be like, dude, I'm so glad I did the things I did when I was 30. My uncle is, I don't know how old he is. I think he's in his late 60s, and he did that at 30. He's like retired and he's just doing adventurous things in his life. I don't know what a day in life videos has to do with my deep things in life, but this is kind of a journal entry at this point. That's what the whole thing is about. And I love documenting that. I think that's where we got at, is that I love documenting it in this YouTube channel and learning that. And just going through this whole journey and this process. So thank you guys for hanging out on this long day with me. It was much longer for me than it was for you. I don't know how long it is for you, but it was many more hours for me, and I enjoyed it. It was fun. I'm feeling that calling just to say, like, everything is okay wherever you are, however age you are, whatever you're planning on. Just because you thought you were going to be at somewhere at a certain age and you're not, does not mean that there's something super wrong with your life. You have control and you're okay. I hope that makes sense to somebody, and I hope that means something to somebody. But God bless. Have an amazing day. Subscribe. I already told you to do that and you didn't. I know there's someone that was like, I'll wait for him to say it a second time in this video. Subscribe. There you go. There's a third time. Thanks. God bless, guys. Have a great day.